yourself in a closet. But whether it's a physical place that you're in, or if it's a place that you're in emotionally, mentally, it's a scary place. When we're left by ourselves and we have nobody, it's a scary thing. When you don't feel that you can reach out to anybody, that anybody will understand you, that anybody will take care of your needs, it's really easy to get scared. But what happens if you have no fear? What happens if you're not worried about what the world can do to you? Believe it or not, it reminds me of a South Park episode. You know, I try, and I was trying really hard not to use any South Park references this month, but it's not going to happen. So there's one episode where the boys get together and decide that Cartman is just so annoying, they're just going to pretend he doesn't exist. So even though he talks to them, no matter what he does to them, they act like he's not there at all. So he believes that he's dead and he's a ghost. There's only one person that's not in on it, and that's Butters. And so he confides in Butters as if he was a medium. So the reason I bring this up is because there's one part of it towards the end where Cartman, without any fear, because nothing can hurt him, he's not really there. He goes into a hold-up situation to scare the criminals that are holed up in this office. Absolutely no fear at all. He makes weird noises, throws papers around, and they see him doing this. They're just kind of weirded out by it. But without any fear, he walks into a situation that could, quite honestly, result in his actual death. And then they think it's so weird, they get weirded out, they actually give themselves up to the police and walk out. And then Cartman comes out, and all the guys start congratulating him and saying how wonderful it was. And he's like, what are you talking about? You guys can see me now? And then he finds out that they were just ignoring him. And suddenly he realizes what could have happened when he walked into that building. And that is when he passes out. When he faints. When the realization of the fear of what could have happened to him, when he put himself in that dangerous situation, that's when it comes to it. That's when the fear hits him and overpowered him. Now, I don't expect any of us to go walking into any gun battles. Now, first of all, let's take lesson, don't ignore people. We're in relationship with each other, don't ignore them. But when we put ourselves in situations, day in and day out, as we go about just various things of our lives, we put ourselves in these situations that are dangerous situations. One of my pastimes, I guess, we just moved, and it's not the best area. Right? Is there really a good area? I don't know. There's sirens all the time. So one of the things that me and Julia like to do is turn on the police scanner using tune-in radio and just listen to what's going on. In fact, if you think back to like the Clackamas Town Center shooting, we knew what was going on before the newscasters knew what was going on. So it was kind of weird to sit there and the newscaster would say something, and I have a habit of talking back to the TV. I'd be like, no, because we were listening to the police scanner. So with all of the things that are going on, I mean, you guys don't have any idea. Sometimes I listen to it at work just to keep me awake. Well, I sit in front of a computer, right, and, you know, I program, and you got to keep the mind, well, I play Words with Friends with Heidi at the same time, but you got to keep your mind active, and you don't want to listen to music because I have this horrible tendency to sing along, and my coworkers really don't appreciate that, or even whistle or hum along. And, you know, these cubicles aren't really built for soundproofing. So I listen to something it's kind of more random, like the police scanner. So, but listening to the police scanner just gives you a realization of what's going on just in the area that we live in. I mean, the day doesn't go by that I don't hear about domestic issues. I don't hear about guns and knives. I don't hear about traffic accidents. I also subscribe to the news feed, the RSS feed for the Oregon State Police, and accidents all over the place. It's really easy for us to just become overwhelmed with the dangers that are all around us. I mean, what hope is there that in life, right? The world teaches us we work hard, we take care, do whatever we can to take care of ourselves, and then you drive down the road, boom, you can't take care of yourself because some guy got drunk and decided to drive. Or you're walking down the street and somebody who has a grudge with another person you don't even know rolls up alongside and starts shooting, right? Or you're in your house and there's a gang shooting outside and the bullets come ripping through your bedroom. Or a tree gets knocked down by a storm and it crashes through your roof. You hear about those things on the news all the time. And you know what? They're happening all around us. And it's so easy to get caught up with this unknown, this fear of what could happen to you. You could literally lock yourself up in a closet. But you know what? That tree would still probably crash. There is no safe place. There is no place where you are completely. Mind you, he's on land, they're on water, there's no more boats. So what did he do? He walked on the water. Not even the impossibility of walking on the water was a deterrent. What does that speak to? Peter, as he got out of the boat, because Jesus said, "Come to him," he steps foot and his eyes are on Christ and he walks boldly towards him. And it's not until he takes his eyes off, until he doubts what he's doing, until he's taken over by that fear, all the stuff that's going on around him, that he starts to sink. It's a very telling story. Now, Jesus didn't come to them right away. He didn't come to him right as the storm was about to hit. "Oh, hey, I'm here, guys. Don't worry, the storm's coming, but I got you covered." He didn't take them out of the storm completely. He didn't head it off at the pass. But he was there for them when they really needed him. He was there for them in the appropriate time. So that's one of the other things that we think about. With all these things going on in the world, with natural disasters, with shootings and hostage situations, where's God in those situations? Why doesn't he stop them? You hear all the time, why did your God let these things happen? Why did that tsunami crash through that island and kill all those people? Why did New Orleans flood and displace all those people and cause havoc? Why did our God allow that? People get upset when God doesn't act in the timing that we expect him to act. People let the fear take them. So, where does that leave us? I have one more passage that I would like to read. It's going to take me just a moment. You can turn with me if you'd like to Psalms. Psalms 139. There's a lot of them Psalms. and I'm starting in verse 5. So Psalms 139, verse 5. Now this is David. And I'm going to read 5 through 12. You go before me and follow me. You place your hand of blessing on my head. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too great for me to understand. I can never escape your spirit. I can never get away from your presence. If I go up to heaven, you are there. If I go down to the grave, you are there. If I ride the wings of the morning, if I dwell by the farthest oceans, even there your hand will guide me, and your strength will support me. I could ask the darkness to hide me, and the light around me to become night. But even in darkness, I cannot hide from you. To you, the night shines as bright as day. Darkness and light are the same to you. David puts it so clearly and succinct. There is nothing that we can do to escape that love, that relationship. Nothing that we could do to get away from it. Water did not prevent Jesus from coming to his disciples. The laws of physics went out the window when they needed it. C.S. Lewis has an answer to the question, why did this happen? Why did it take so long? In his book, The Problem of Pain, well, let me explain something first. C.S. Lewis married, everyone familiar with C.S. Lewis? Okay. He read the Chronicles of Narnia. Okay. He also wrote many other books. One of them is the Problem of Pain. Lewis married kind of late in life to an American woman who only had a short time to live because she had some terminal illness. And I just want you to hear some of the passages. I'm only going to read two passages, but it speaks to us very clearly. So on page 93 of his book, he says, God whispers to us in our pleasures and speaks in our conscience, but shouts in our pains. It is his megaphone